Happy Monday. Okay, if you are considered middle class, I need your help and your thoughts on this. Because I feel like I make way too much money to feel like I am struggling, I guess. What do y'all have in your savings, in your 30s? Like, I feel like some days I am so far behind from like where I should be. Like, I make way too much money to feel this way. I know I probably spend money on some things that I shouldn't or I don't need, but damn, I work 2 jobs and I shouldn't have to feel bad if, I have an Amazon package coming or whatever it might be. But is it just the economy? Am I doing something wrong? I just feel like I'm constantly living paycheck to paycheck and it's like stressing me out. Are you all struggling like as bad as what I feel like I am? Like, it's just, gosh, it's so heartbreaking because like breaking groceries, like I feel bad that I can't tell my kids they can't have 80 snacks a day, like I'm so frustrated. So yeah, please chime in. Please help me understand. Are you guys saving money? Do you have a great savings account? Do you help me understand like what I'm doing wrong, or if it's just literally this shitty world we live in today?
It is impossible to save right now. This is coming from somebody who is a really good saver. The fact that I have done less this year and yet I still have nothing to save is wild to me. I don't go out to eat. I don't get drinks. This is the least I've ever traveled. Shopping sprees are very far and few between. Also, I'm spending less money on rent, and yet every single one of my paychecks is going towards some sort of bill, an adult related thing I don't want to pay for, like insurance, my car repair, maintenance on my HVAC. I feel like the list is endless. Long story short, everything costs too much. There's so many hidden fees, so unless you ask for an itemized report of what exactly you've been charged for, you're probably paying more than you're actually supposed to. Companies want to pay you less. The cost of living is rising. As an example, the way that I used to make $3,000 a month when I graduated college, and yet I was still able to save about $1,000 a month, I can't do that anymore. Ways that I could stretch $100 when I was in college does not go far now. Honestly, if you can, move home with your parents. Pick up a side job. It's only gonna get worse before it gets better. What really enrages me is when the economy is up, the prices go up, and then they never come down. And even when the economy is not doing good, those prices never come down. And guess who suffers? All of us. If anyone has a good side hustle that doesn't take money to start, let me know, because I think we are all struggling and it would be really helpful. Bye.
Yeah, I gotta say this. When you check your account, you have to check it really, really fast. Like, look really fast and hurry up and close it, because if you don't, you'll get real pissed. So, yeah.
When I think about it, I'm not poor, but I live paycheck to paycheck. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I have money, but not, like, enough. You know what I mean? Because by the time I do have money, it's the next bill. It's the next month. And I have to pay my bills. So, I'm low-key poor. I don't know. Whatever.
I'm so tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I just waited for the mailman to show up so I could get my paper check in the mail that I've been waiting for weeks. So I could come to the bank and deposit it. But because I have negative money in my account, I'm only going to get like a little bit of it, because like I can only access $100 for the first day. So I'm probably going to have like $60 today. I haven't gone grocery shopping in probably a month. We have like no food to eat for dinner, except for like mac and cheese and ramen. I have $300 electric bill that's overdue. My phone bill's overdue. I just gave my husband my last paycheck from last week so we could pay the mortgage 2 weeks late. And in 10 days or 11 days, the mortgage for next month is due. So it's like this paycheck isn't even like, why do I even have it? Like, they might as well take my paycheck and just send it to all my bills. Like, what's the point in me even getting my paycheck? It's like annoying. Like, I'm not going to see it anyway. Not only that, but in like 3 weeks, I have to pay for summer camp because school's almost over. So it's like, that's another $700-800 that I have to come up with to pay for summer camp. And if I don't pay for summer camp, Guess who can't work because their kid is going to be at home with them? Me. So obviously that's going to be like a major to do. Like I can't not pay summer camp. Not only do I have a personal loan and medical bills up the wazoo, like literally I have like a bill for like $3,000 from the hospital. I have like an $8,000 personal loan that was a consolidation loan from like a bunch of loans that I had. I haven't paid them in like 7 months. I owe them so much money. They call me like twice a day, dude. Like collections calls, fucking, and all I'm doing every day is doing my best. And I literally can't get ahead. Like I can't get ahead. I wake up and I fucking work. And these people are after me for money. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally trying my best. What do you want from me? I have side gigs here and there, like OF, once in a while I'll make like $60. But like, that's not really consistent. And like, I'm a painter. Like I have a ladder in the back of my car. I'm a painter, right? So like, today, I literally didn't have enough tools to do my job. And I was like, I can't do this right now. Like, I don't have the fucking shit that I need for my job. Like, I can't even fucking work, dude. Like, I'm so stressed. I literally can't. I can't fucking do this anymore.
So I grew up like living paycheck to paycheck, like with my mom and my stepdad, because obviously we grew up really poor. My mom worked cleaning houses and my stepdad worked driving limousines. Now I have like this big boy job. I went to an Ivy League school. Now I have like a dope job, whatever. And I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. How am I making 6 figures and living paycheck to paycheck? Like, this makes absolutely no sense. This is what it's like living in New York City. So how am I supposed to save for my retirement, for my future, to buy a house when everything is so fucking expensive and I want to live the life I deserve to live? Anyway, it's my shopping, so...
How am I supposed to compete with a hedge fund out of Texas on buying a home? It makes you feel insane because it's like there's a conspiracy against me at this point.
If you're looking for a place to live right now, you face a radically different housing market than people did even just 15 years ago. Home prices have gone up, rents have gone up, evictions have increased, and a whole group of would-be home buyers has been priced out of homeownership, becoming permanent renters.
People want to own the American dream. They don't want to rent the American dream.
They've been replaced by an industry that treats our communities and neighborhoods like a day trader treats stocks, just something to buy and sell to maximize return.
It's been catastrophic.
Really just a few firms have been able to target and corner the market here. Their business model is built on exploitation and on having a very uneven playing field tilted in their favor.
So who exactly is behind this? We went to the cities at the center of this crisis to understand how single-family homes became big business.
Yo nunca he hablado con los dueños, solamente con las personas que trabajan para el dueño.
For the last 7 years, Sandra de los Santos has rented this house in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now she's packing up. In a few weeks, she and her family have to leave.
Yo le dije a la compañía que hace 2 años la casa se venía llenando de moho, pero ellos nunca me habían hecho caso.
From the beginning, Sandra's had problems with the rental. Every time it rained, water flooded into the house. Then came the mold.
Mi esposo tuvo que cambiar esa pared para que no nos afectara, porque mis hijos prácticamente ellos cada mes estaban enfermando. Eran desvelos de mis hijos, no íbamos a trabajar por hacer todo eso y ellos no nos han compensado con ni $1. Nunca, al contrario, nos suben las rentas.
It's been years since she's been asking for repairs.
Jessica Moreno is a housing organizer who's helping Sandra.
They got their rent raised every year. They do what they can to make sure the rent is paid every single month. And then on top of that, they still have to fix the home.
When she looked into Sandra's landlord, she found it's a Texas-based private equity firm that's among the largest owners of single-family homes in the country.
She rents from a corporate landlord called Amherst. Just in Charlotte, Amherst owns 1,583 homes. When you think of landlords, you think of someone that has maybe 2 houses, right? That's not what we're dealing with. We're dealing with, backed by Wall Street, corporations that own thousands of homes.
Sandra says she spent $25,000 repairing the house, and Amherst hasn't paid her back for any of it.
They actually have an office here in Charlotte, which we went to, and it's 2 suites that are filled with boxes. No one's there.
After Sandra protested publicly, the company finally contacted her and sent an inspector to the house. Then they offered her $2,000 to leave.
It's a slap in the face. Of course, she said no, she wasn't going to take that. Then they said that she would have to leave at the end of her lease. She was forced out of her community. And a lot of people are under that situation.
This is a problem that didn't exist 10 or 15 years ago.
Taylor Shelton is a geographer who maps the ownership of single-family homes.
Prior to the 2008 foreclosure crisis, large corporations were really not involved in the single-family rental market at all.
After the 2008 crash, Wall Street saw an opportunity in millions of foreclosed homes, especially in the Sunbelt cities hardest hit.
What the foreclosure crisis presented was a mass of available inventory for extremely cheap.
So when property values skyrocketed over the next decade, the proceeds went to Wall Street, not to the people who now rented the homes. The result has been a housing recovery without a homeowner recovery. By 2022, large investors were buying more than 1 in every 4 single-family homes sold in the US.
The absolute largest companies really there are 2. The first is Invitation Homes, which is a publicly traded real estate investment trust. The next biggest actor is Progress Residential, which is owned by a private equity firm, Pretium Partners, based in New York City on Wall Street. After those 2 biggest companies, there's really 4 more. Amherst Holdings, based in Texas, First Key Homes, owned by Cerberus Capital Management, American Homes for Rent, now known as AMH, and then Tricon American Homes. There's really 3 things that these landlords are able to do. The first is these landlords raise rent and fees at much faster rates than any other type of landlord. The second thing is that eviction is a really core part of their business model. Institutional investors are way more likely to file for eviction, not as a kind of last resort, but actually at the very first moment they're able to. And then the third thing is that we know these companies are actually producing worse outcomes in terms of building maintenance. So they are, in effect, providing a worse product for higher prices.
In Atlanta, Wall Street landlords now own more than a quarter of single-family homes. I met up with Robbie Caban, an Atlanta broker who's been working in real estate for over a decade.
What I've seen is that my clientele, that buying pool of first-time homeowners or elderly who are downsizing, with limited income, like veterans and so on, they're no longer able to purchase. They have just been wiped out because they cannot compete with the other buyers in the market.
Tell me more about the corporate buyers. What influence have you seen them have on the market here?
It's been catastrophic. Truly, the pool of homes available has been so diminished that, in essence, normal people who have just general lending on limited funds are priced out. And they're forced into rentals. And because those same companies control the rentals, there are very little options. When a cash buyer can come in, like the corporate buyers, and buy within 5 days, no appraisal, virtually no inspection, as is, how can a person who needs 30 days or more, needs an inspection, needs a due diligence period, needs an appraisal for the bank, it's required, compete with that? They can't.
According to one study, the shift from owning to renting has resulted in over $1 billion of lost equity for renters over the last 10 years. And that's just in Atlanta.
I mean, I paid $24,000 last year for a place that I have nothing to show for.
Austin Hunter is a cabinet maker whose last 3 landlords have been different investment firms, most recently First Key Homes. In the last 6 years, Austin's rent has doubled. Long term, he thinks it might make more sense just to live in his van.
How am I supposed to compete with a hedge fund from Texas that's trying to buy a house when any house that I could ostensibly afford, they're coming in with cash? It really feels like I'm pushing a boulder up the hill and continually getting bludgeoned by the boulder coming back down on me.
Corporate owners of single-family homes argue that they don't contribute to the housing crisis, pointing to the fact that nationally, they own less than 10% of the market. But if you're looking for a place to live, the market you care about isn't national. It's one neighborhood versus another. And in some cities, these firms are building local monopolies.
The way these companies' business practices have evolved is essentially to avoid competing with one another through this geographic targeting. Invitation Homes tends to purchase in, on average, wealthier and whiter communities. Progress and Main Street Renewal tend to focus on somewhat poor, predominantly black neighborhoods. In some neighborhoods, it's upwards of 50 or even 75% of all single-family rentals are owned by these large Wall Street investors. That element of market power is really significant in the way these companies operate, really meaning that if you want to live in a given neighborhood, you're forced into working with a single landlord.
Today, my administration is sending a very clear message to corporate landlords.
In July, the Biden-Harris administration announced a new plan to slow rent increases.
We are going to cap rent increases at no more than 5% a year. Period.
The proposal follows another effort by Democrats in Congress to address corporate landlords' control over the housing market.
We should get the hedge funds out of the housing business.
Senator Merkley's bill would cap ownership at 100 properties and make corporate landlords sell the rest in 10 years. But so far, no legislation has been brought up for a vote. Corporate ownership of single-family homes is hardly the only problem with our housing system. But the way Wall Street has siphoned up neighborhoods that were once a path to building wealth for working people, it's really one of the clearest examples of the fundamental problem.
We value money, not people. That's what this system says. We value money, not people.
Okay, but tell me why I'm working overtime and I'm still freaking broke. And now, don't get me wrong, I make good money. I make over $25 an hour. But I do have 3 kids and a wife, and let me tell you, leading a family is financially stressful. I work all the overtime I'm allowed to get. Anytime I can get any overtime, I always work it. But no matter how much overtime I work, it doesn't seem like this paycheck to paycheck thing will ever end. And that's just something that I deal with and I kind of internalize and I don't talk about. But I can't be the only one that feels this way, right? I mean, surely there are other people out there who are tired of just getting by, man. Like when I was in high school just 10 years ago, like $10 or $12 an hour was really good money. And I remember thinking if I could just get out and make $15 an hour, I'm set. I'll have a good savings. I'll be able to afford a house, a car. I'm 29 years old. And though some of it is, actually I would say a lot of it is because of some of the decisions I made in my teenage years and early adulthood. A lot of why I don't have a house is because of the economy and how shit is just expensive. Like I don't know. It's disgusting, to be honest. Like just to live and not have any money to do anything with. If you agree, let me know in the comments. But what are we doing about it? That's another thing. You know, instead of complaining about it, what are we doing about it? Let me know some side hustles. I've tried a whole lot of stuff, but mostly this TikTok right here. If you've watched to this point, you're helping me get to that goal. So I appreciate it. Even if only 200 of you end up seeing it.
This economy is brutal, absolutely brutal. So 2020, I was a medical assistant. I went to college for that. I'd been doing that for 7 years at the time. And I was making decent money. I mean, I wasn't strapped paycheck to paycheck by any, I wasn't that tight on money. I had enough in savings. I was able to take my son on vacations, and I didn't really have to, constantly examine my bank account every single moment of the day. So it was good. And then with all the mandates and lockdowns and stuff, I had just decided that the healthcare field was not for me anymore. So I left and I decided to start my own business. I got into esthetician. I went to school, became a licensed esthetician. And I got lucky enough that right after school, I got hired on at an already well-established salon. So I didn't really have to do anything. I didn't have to do any marketing, nothing like that. I just showed up every day and my schedule was full of clients. And it was great. It was awesome. I was making great money. My schedule was busy. And then the owner had some mental breakdown and the business crumbled and collapsed. And so I had to go out on my own and rent a space as an independent contractor. And I tried one salon and it wasn't a busy salon at all. So I had the clientele that I had kind of acquired while I was at this first place. They followed me, but then over like a 7-month span, I started losing some. Either they financially couldn't afford it, they were moving. I had a few that have moved out of the area. And so that, you know, but I wasn't recouping new ones. I was losing more than I was recouping. And then I moved to another spot that I thought would be busier. I went completely on my own. I wasn't even at a salon at this point, and I was kind of in the downtown area, and I was there for 8 months. And again, I was still losing more clients than I was gaining, because of people, again, couldn't afford it, or they were moving out of the area. And so it's been tough. You know, I've been doing it 3 years now, and I've now moved again to another salon that is in a really high traffic area, so I'm hoping we'll pick up some. But yeah, I mean, it's an industry, it's a luxury industry. People are now having to pick and choose what it is that they can afford. I mean, there was a time where I was able to pay for somebody once a month to come and clean my house, and I was able to get my nails done. I was able to get my hair cut and colored. Now, as you can see, I got all this gray hair that I can't afford to get my hair colored. Can't afford to get nails done. You know, can't afford any of the luxury things. And I know that I'm not alone. I know that there's other people that are like this as well. So it's a real struggle to try to get clientele in a luxury type industry that people can kind of do at home. You know, people are starting to do their own nails at home. They're doing their own waxing at home, or brow tinting, or whatever it is at home, or they're doing their lashes and stuff at home. They're making it work at home because the economy is so tough. So now here I am, 41 years old, and I am like the poorest I have ever been in my life. And it's depressing. It's a struggle. I'm a single mom. My son is almost 17. So, you know, he's got his own part-time job and stuff, but I still have to provide for him. But he's pretty independent. So that does help a lot. I mean, I don't have to pay for childcare or anything like that. And he drives and all that stuff and pays for his own gas and things. But yeah, I mean, I am the poorest I have ever been. Sometimes I think, what was I thinking branching out, starting my own business? But I think just, it was bad timing on my part. Yeah, now I'm so paycheck to paycheck. I feel like I'm back in my 20s again, where I have like $200 in my bank, and not knowing if I'm going to be able to pay for my mortgage, or not. So the struggle is extremely real. Yeah, it's, so I don't know. I'm thinking of other alternatives on what can I do? How can I make some money? You know, I really want to open a mobile coffee trailer and do that. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll take some equity out of my house and go that route, follow that path, and see if that would make me more money a month than trying to get lash clients, because that's just, I don't think that's where it's at. Not anymore. People are going away with that. And yeah, maybe the coffee route, maybe a mobile coffee business is where it's at. I'm also partnering, my parents and we are opening a bar that'll be open this summer. So, I mean, I'll be busy with that, but there's just this lag time of, well, right now I don't have any money to pay my bills. So what do? I'm having to find part-time jobs, and in hopes that, you know, and then of course, then the bar will open up this summer, but I'll basically be working for free for that, because we won't have money starting off to give myself a paycheck. So I'll be working for free there. Was hoping to have kind of the coffee trailer that I could park at the bar and do both. I don't know. I'm kind of venting right now. Sorry, it's a long video. It's just been stressful, and I just keep thinking, am I constantly making the wrong decisions in life? Like, what am I doing? Part of me wants to move into a camper trailer and rent out my house, but I don't want to do that with my teenage son. So he has, you know, I have to wait at least a year for that. He's got one more year of high school and then he graduates. So that's an option to save some money. Is but you know, where am I going to kick him off to? You know, where's he going to live? So can't. Anyway, these are just the thoughts going through my head. Like, what am I going to do with my life? I know it'll work out. It'll be fine. I try not to stress about it, but it is a little stressful.
I've been living paycheck to paycheck for the past 5 years, and today we're starting with negative $643.44, and let me show you exactly what I spent money on today. I'm on a trip for work and I didn't eat breakfast, so this chicken wrap and latte at the rest stop was $14.78, which is actually really expensive, but I gotta eat something. Next is gas, which we all know is super expensive. I paid $55.04 to fill up my tank, but unfortunately there's not much I can do to change that. Now today I was getting tons of footage of this job site for my company, and it was a lot of fun, but it's time to go home, snuggle up, and chill for the rest of the day. The turnpike cost me $18.75, leaving me with negative $732.01. See you guys tomorrow.
My bills a month come out to $3,845. My income is currently standing at $2,730. That income is $2,000 in unemployment and $730 in child support. And that leaves me negative $1,115 a month. But this is just what it takes to pay my bills. Not to live, food, gas, clothes, spending money, maintenance, none of that. This is just bills. Now, when it comes to salary, if we're talking salary, how much income I need to make a year, in order to basically live paycheck to paycheck, to bring in minimum $55,000 a year. In order to live the life I want to live, I need to be making about $150,000. As of today's reality, I make $33,000 a year. To survive, live paycheck to paycheck, I need to make $55,000. Ultimate goal at the end of the day is about $150,000. So, bringing us back to this debate that I have, by June 11th, the latest, your girl's gonna make a decision. I'm either gonna stay in this apartment or I'm gonna move back in with family, live rent, utility, grocery free. I don't have to pay for any of that. Now, who knows what could happen? I could most certainly find a job by then. I could find a job by June, and it could be a 6-figure job. Or I continue scaling my social media, which is what I've been doing regardless. The brand deals, monetizing YouTube, money off TikTok, doing my entrepreneurial thing, starting the businesses that I want to start, etc. Right? So, I mean, it's possible. I'll get this money regardless, right? But it's like, what path is it going to be? Because, like I said, I could stay here. I know at the end of the day, where I'm at right now, as of today, this second, employment is not going to sustain me. I would need to pursue, I would need to do what I'm doing now, right? Which is continue pursuing a job and just continue scaling all the other streams of income that I have going on as well. Biggest thing is just, the timing. Nobody wants to keep struggling. Nobody wants to live almost negative $1,200 a month in the hole. No one ever likes being in survival mode. But at the end of the day too, it's possible. It's not possible. Creating generational wealth, creating wealth, period. Getting to financial freedom, it is possible. And this doesn't even include, all of the other huge financial goals that I have. So when it does come to the businesses that I really, really want to start, it takes money to make money. It just is what it is. It's going to take a lot of financial investment within myself. Probably going to end up talking about this in a separate video, but there's certain levels, certain steps that I'm trying to complete, right? So I have level 1 where I'm just trying to get to a baseline, a bare minimum standard of living financially. And that by itself takes $10,000. And then I'm going to get myself to my standard of comfortable living, about $9,000 to $11,000 a month right there. That's ultimately kind of where we got that salary scale. So y'all, I don't know. We're going to see come June, regardless of the decision that gets made, I'm going to stay faithful and obedient. No matter what roof I'm under, the goal doesn't change. Financial freedom, generational wealth, living comfortably. Y'all know it's not just me, it's me and my son. All I can do is keep showing up and keep being obedient and keep doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing. And at this point, we're really going to see what God does. So y'all stay tuned because I just know June is going to be here like tomorrow.
Am I the only one that doesn't think you're living paycheck to paycheck if you can afford to put money toward retirement and an HSA account and other things like that? Like, I see people talking about how 6 figures, at 6 figures, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And I thought with like savings accounts and this and that, and I'm like, I thought paycheck to paycheck meant if your paycheck, if you didn't get the next one, you ain't gonna be able to eat. You ain't gonna be able to keep a roof over your head. You ain't gonna be able to whatever. Like, I thought it meant if I don't get that check, I'm destitute. I didn't think it meant like, oh, after I've paid all my bills and contributed to my savings, I don't have a lot of money left to go have fun and do things and whatever. You know what I mean? I don't think that is paycheck to paycheck. I think it's something, right? It's uncomfortable. It's not enough. It's not whatever, but it's not what I think paycheck to paycheck means. I think paycheck to paycheck means you will be destitute if you don't get the next one. Am I wrong?
Am I the only one who feels like I will never stop living paycheck to paycheck? The economy we live in is trash. The jobs we work for are trash. They pay you the bare minimum, but want you to show up and give your 110%. How does that work? These houses, they want you to pay $1,000+ for rent, and they're 1980 houses. You gotta have a deposit, last month's rent, first month's rent. Like, why do I need to pay last month's rent? I don't understand that. Car insurance, car payments, they're rip-offs. Why am I paying $300 for car insurance? I don't understand. Health insurance, skyrocket. Food, skyrocket. Like, I just don't understand how I will ever be able to afford to wake up and go hop on a plane and enjoy my best life. I just don't understand. By the time my kids get to adulthood, they're gonna have to pay to open the door to walk out of their own house. I really, really, really rather be a cockroach crawling on the ground for free than have to live this life every day. Like, I can't be the only one who feels this way. Like, I need to know, y'all that get to wake up and take trips and go across country and do $100 shopping sprees at Target every single day. What are you doing? What's the secret to life? What is the secret recipe that you have that we don't have? Let us know.